ladies have had charmed careers and a decades-long friendship. Now Shannen Doherty and Holly Marie Combs have teamed up once again in Great American Country's Off the Map with Shannen and Holly. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
I'm just going to put it out there. I'm a huge fan of both of yours for years and years, from 90210 to Charmed, of course, to Lifetime movies, to Beyond.
Lifetime and Beyond.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Let's not even start with my Lifetime obsession. It is unnatural.
That's okay.
So why now did you team up again?
Because we could.
I love that.
Basically, yeah, because we could. It was like the easiest, fastest way to like go off on an adventure
It's
together.
a good day job. It's a great day job.
So do they come to both of you because people have known within the industry that you've been friends for 2 decades?
No, I don't think a lot of people know that, actually.
Yeah, people don't know that. No, it was my idea originally, and I was like, I want to do something fun, and I want to do it with Holly, and I want to have Anthony Bourdain's job, and and so I called her and said, hey, let's go do a travel show. She goes, well, did you sell it yet? And I went, I will. And she goes, okay, well, let me know when you sell it.
That was pretty much
the
gist of it.
That was the gist.
Yeah.
So tell us about the show. What can we expect? Or what's going on right now, I should say.
Well, it's a road trip. It's a travel show. We do lots of food, drink, merriment, cultures, animals. What?
Yeah,
we do animals. That sounds bad. That sounds bad, especially considering what you did to the alligator in Florida.
Hey, wait, what?
Well, it was for scientific purposes.
Is that how you're framing it?
Yes.
It was
yes.
research. Yes. It was research, and it was for the good of the alligator that I had to probe in certain places that, you know, your hand goes up in.
Were you milking an alligator?
No, I had to feel for...
She milked a goat, though.
For what it was.
You had a thing for animal
okay.
genitalia in this
Right, but I mean, if somebody said to you, we need to know if it's a male or a female, will you do it? You would say yes, right?
But you're a country girl, so for you this is not like shock and awe. This is just what you do. You get your hands dirty and you're doing it on the show.
Yeah.
At least you wore a glove.
Yeah, I did wear a glove.
Well, at least things
But
were.
I like that. I'm a country girl. Thank you.
But you are. I mean, you
Sorta,
are.
yeah.
Well,
Sorta, yeah.
Well, country turned Hollywood, but not really, because I feel like you were both raised in the spotlight. Why were you able to avoid the pitfalls? Because there's been a lot of...
Did I avoid pitfalls?
Well, I think you have.
I'm pretty sure I found
let me give you a
every
great
pitfall
example
there
of that.
was.
No, there's a great example of someone who didn't... Sorry to say it, Tori Spelling. She has put her personal life out there in a very visible way, going through a lot of trials and tribulations. I mean, is it difficult for you to see people that you used to work with going through tough times?
Yeah, I mean, anytime that you like somebody and you care about them, you know, it doesn't matter if they're on TV or if it's whoever, it doesn't matter. You know, you don't want to ever see anybody go through a tough time. But, I mean, I think that, you know, pitfalls in Hollywood and I think what people always have to remember is that you're young and you make these mistakes, and it's kind of the same thing that people do when they're off at college and they're going to frat parties and they're joining sororities and whatever, you know, like you make mistakes.
Yeah.
And those mistakes are what eventually makes you the person that you are later in life. Mm-hmm. So you have to, as long as you're learning from your mistakes, I think it's okay to stumble every once in a while.
Yeah. On the set of Pretty Little Liars, do you find yourself in the mentoring role with the younger girls? Are you like, don't do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, I've given them a few don'ts, but they all do so well on their own. I mean, like I tell her all the time, you know, we used to come in on 3 hours of sleep and have In-N-Out for lunch. They come in with their green juices and, you know, and their green tea. Everything's very green. And, they're very healthy. They're very ambitious. They're very professional. They're far more together than I or we were at that age.
What would be your biggest don't for the younger Hollywood generation?
Keep your personal life personal.
Well, yeah, it's hard to do.
That's my big don't.
It's hard to do with Instagram and Twitter and all these things these days. Yeah, it gets easy to get too personal and too out there and put your whole life on Instagram and lots of girls' underwears and butts. What is with those pictures, my children?
Just talking about your family and, you know, your relationships and everything else. I think that once you start doing that, people feel, not only the press, but I think that the public feels too, that you're like open game almost, and that they know so much about you, or they think, so that they can just keep delving, keep asking questions. And, you know, I mean, I get asked all the time about, well, what about a baby? And you mentioned adopting.
Yeah, we were about to ask you that.
Were you? Do you know what? I actually, because we were talking about it the other day, and somebody that's been with us for the last 2 days here in New York, they actually brought up a really good point. And they were like, it's funny because men don't go on as they're promoting and say, so, you're almost this age, are you going to have a baby? Like, what do you...
Nobody asks those questions to men. It's such a gender disparity.
It is, and it's not fair. At all.
It is not fair. And hopefully we can change that. One woman speaking out at a time, right?
Or three.
Or three. Yeah.
I'm going to go ask George Clooney when he's having a baby.
Oh, I'm sure. I think they just asked them all that question, and she looked forward to tears. And you've grown up a lot. And when you think about being on the set of Charmed, Alyssa Milano said during a Watch What Happens Live interview that being on the set with you two, because you were such good friends, she felt as though it was high school, and then she felt bad, and then she tweeted at you, and I was like, well, isn't that kind of high school?
I think it's, what I think is high school? For us to talk about it. That's what I think is high school. I think, let's just let it be.
The only thing I would like to do is, I want to promote a new show, and I don't want to use an old show to do that.
Yeah.
So, I would rather...
Right.
If my new show needs my old show's publicity, my new show ain't that good. And I feel like when people talk about stuff like that, it's to sell a book. Like, if you're selling a book... and your present life isn't so great, maybe let's not talk about the past so much.
She took maybe the Throwback Thursday a little too far.
It was too much of a Throwback Thursday, because I'm telling you, that's got to be that's a lot of years. A lot of years.
I think we should just wish everyone well and talk about Off the Map, because it's really good and it's really funny and we like it.
Well, speaking of Off the Map, for more on Great American Countries, Off the Map with Shannen and Holly, go to fox4one.com. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.